So welcome back. I'm Reggie Mara speaking about healing America's narratives. We're dealing with chapter 5 still, which is a brief history of African Americans. Um, just a quick warning, I'm going to use some historical quotes here from American elected officials, and some of the language might be disturbing to some folks, so just know that that's coming. The first quote is, and I'm doing this to build perspective about what public figures said out loud when quoted in newspapers in the 20th and into the 21st century. So just want you to hear this. And actually, one of them is from the 19th century as well. So from South Carolina governor and presidential candidate Strom Thurmond in 1948, he was also a senator, and he left the he left the Democratic Party after the passage of the Civil Rights Act in 1964 because he disagreed with it, and he joined the Republican Party. So this is from Strom Thurmond. I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that there's not enough troops in the army to force the Southern people to break down segregation and admit the Nigra race, that's Nigra, into our theaters, into our swimming pools, into our homes, into our churches. That's at the time South Carolina Governor Strom Thurmond, October 7th, 1948. For a quote from a book called The Lost Cause Regained from 1868, Edward A. Pollard. This new cause, or rather the true question of the war revived, the Civil War, is the supremacy of the white race, and along with it and strengthening it, the reassertion of our political traditions and the protection of our ancient fabrics of government. Again, that's from Edward A. Pollard in 1868, his book, The Lost Cause Regained, which is still used as a foundation or source book by many white supremacist groups. From David Duke, during the run-up to the 2016 presidential election. Duke was a former Knights of the Ku Klux Klan Grand Wizard and Louisiana state representative. Quote, "We are determined to take our country back. We are going to fulfill the promises of Donald Trump. That's what we believed in. That's why we voted for Donald Trump, because he's going to take our country back. And that's what we got to do." So that's just, three quick examples. There are others that are even more offensive. I'm going to refrain from reading those. But three quick examples of public statements, both in book form and in interview form, that speak to the racism that has been and still is in many places present in these United States. So again, I apologize for taking you down that particular road, but in denial of that and make believe it's not there, we missed the opportunity to see why it's essential as human beings to make sure that we are all in this together, period. I was almost going to say regardless of gender, race, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When we say all human beings, there is no need to qualify it. All is a pretty straightforward word. So all human beings in it together, equal. Thanks for tuning in. See you the next time.